Your phone buzzes. Your hand moves before your mind does. That is not communication. That is conditioning. The gap between the notification and your response is the last piece of territory you still own. Most operators surrender it 100 times a day, then wonder why their work feels shallow. The old Stoics had a specific claim about stimulus and response. Something happens to you. Then you form a judgment about it. Then you act. Most people collapse these three moments into one. The Stoic project was to pry them apart again. Epictetus, as I read him, was obsessed with a single question. What is up to you and what is not? A notification arriving is not up to you. Your interpretation of it is. Your response to that interpretation is. Everything upstream of the buzz belongs to other people. Everything downstream belongs to you, if you can stay awake long enough to claim it. The practiced pause is the physical location where that ownership happens. It is not a mood. It is not calm. It is a deliberate hesitation inserted between the input and the reflex. A breath. A count. A moment where you name what just arrived before you respond to it. The Stoics called this kind of act a discipline of assent. You are refusing to grant automatic agreement to whatever the world puts in front of your eyes. The knowledge worker of 2015 had a manageable problem. Email, Slack, a few dashboards. The volume was high, but the tempo was human. A message sat in an inbox for an hour and nothing broke. The knowledge worker of today has a different problem entirely. The tempo is no longer human. Notifications are generated by systems that never sleep, coordinated by algorithms that optimize for your engagement, and increasingly written by models that can produce infinite plausible text at zero cost. The signal-to-noise ratio has inverted. You are not processing messages from colleagues. You are being farmed. Most people miss this shift because it happened underneath the interface they already knew. The icon looks the same. The buzz feels the same. But the thing on the other end of the buzz has changed. It used to be a person who wanted something specific. Now it is often a system, or a person routed through a system, or a person who used a system to write faster than they can think. The response you give is training data for the next round. The cost of not seeing this is not stress. Stress is the surface symptom. The real cost is the erosion of your capacity for sustained thought. Every unpaused reaction fragments the block of attention you were trying to build. A knowledge worker without long blocks of attention is a knowledge worker who cannot do the work that AI cannot yet do. Which means you get replaced from the top down, not the bottom up. Not because the model is smarter than you, because you never gave yourself the quiet needed to be smarter than the model. There is a second cost, quieter and worse. Every reflex response teaches your nervous system that the notification is the boss. The buzz becomes an authority. Your work becomes a series of interruptions that you dignify by calling them priorities. At the end of the day, you have answered 40 things and built nothing. You feel busy and hollow. The hollowness is accurate. Nothing was built. The reframe is this. In an environment engineered to trigger reaction, the pause is no longer a soft skill. It is the core professional competency. It is the thing that separates an operator from a keyboard. The Stoic discipline of assent, translated into modern terms, is the refusal to let a notification write your next action for you. The buzz is a request for judgment. Judgment takes a moment. That moment is the whole game. I noticed yesterday that when the Slack notification pinged during my draft, I just let it sit for 2 minutes instead of switching over immediately. By the time I looked, I'd already finished the paragraph I was stuck on, and the message turned out to be someone asking a question that the person next to them could answer. One practice. Tomorrow morning, before you open any application, place an index card next to your keyboard. On it, write 3 words: notice, name, choose. That card stays there all day. The rule is simple. When any notification arrives on any device, you do not touch the device until you have run the card. Notice that a buzz occurred. Name what it is in 1 word, out loud or under your breath. Sales, Slack, news, model. Choose one of 3 responses. Now, later, never. Then, act. The pause should take about 4 seconds. That is the entire practice. No app, no timer, no streak. The specific time of day is all of them, but the anchor is the first notification after you sit down to work. That one sets the pattern for the rest. If you run the card on the first buzz of the morning, the second buzz is easier. If you react to the first, the day is already lost. Keep the card for 2 weeks, then decide if you still need it. This channel is for operators who intend to still be thinking clearly 10 years from now.